Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. This is your girl Angie Pat, aka The Boss, and welcome back to the Boss Up Show. We are here every single Thursday evening, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we are waiting for people to come into the broadcast. I realize it is my first Boss Up Show in a while. So we're going to let some people come into the broadcast, y'all. It's time to boss up. Do what you gotta do. It's time to boss up. Get that bad news. Boss up, boss up. What time is it, y'all? It's that time. It's time to boss up, boss up. To be back. Hi, Cynthia. How are you? Red Panthers in the building. That is our Boss Up song. Thank you, producer, writer, singer of that, Mr. Red Panther himself. Thank you so much. My name is Angie Pat, aka The Boss, and I am the same Angie Pat that comes to you in the morning time for the Ride to Work with Angie, where we get your heart bumping and your blood boiling as you are preparing for work, on your way to work, or some of you guys may have already been pulling into the parking lot at work. But for tonight, this is the Boss Up Show. And for those of you all who don't know or who have never seen the Boss Up Show, it's a bit different from the Ride to Work with Angie, so you can expect kind of anything. But we are going to be up here every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we have like old school music on here. We do a little smack talking. I do have a topic that I want to talk about, and it was a disgusting topic. I never heard of it until somebody brought it to me. But we're going to talk about that tonight. Y'all and y'all trifling kids, we're going to talk about it. Yashelle, hi, how are you? So we're going to go back a little bit. Miss Blair, I don't know if I say hello, but hello, darling. Hello, hello. Spot Eva, how are you? Thank you guys for joining. Make sure that you tap the screen, hit the heart button, and definitely share, because it's going to be a different type of Angie that you see. I told y'all I do not wear makeup all day. No, I absolutely did not put on any tonight, because I spent to go to bed when I leave you guys, okay? I got on my jammies, okay? So, that's what that is. But we're going to go back just a little bit. Blonde Delicious, how are you, hon? Anybody under 45, you probably won't know who the heck this is. I just like calypso music. Another host, good evening. know me, y'all know I like calypso music. Miss Diana, how are you, love? Thank you for coming up. Mocha, hi. Miles and miles around to go where everybody will be congregating, living, loving, celebrating. Where everybody will be congregating in the city soul. We are gonna have a party tonight, y'all. DC, good morning, good morning. Yes, ma'am, having a hot flash. Woo! People are still coming into the broadcast. DJ, hello, good evening to you. Just one more night, where everybody will be congregating, living, loving, celebrating. Where everybody will be congregating. I'm laughing at myself, y'all. Telling me she's swinging. Mr. Lilo Thomas, y'all. We're so glad to see you. We will turn to kiss each other, knowing we'll be back for more and more and more. We'll hear the sounds together. Baby, 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 baby. Where everybody will be congregating. In the building. Sharon, good evening. I did not say Siri. I didn't say that. You see how Siri just interrupts my stuff. Wasn't nobody talking to her. That's what's wrong with black people now. They banning other folk business. I didn't call you. She gonna cut my stuff off because she thought I called her. We wasn't talking to you right now. So, I am Angie Pat, a.k.a. The Boss. And you guys are on the return of the Boss Up Show. So let me give you a few announcements, and we're going to play a couple of songs, and we are going to get into our topic on tonight. Because I done ate, I'm bloated, okay? And I'm having hot flashes, all right? This is not the polite ride to work with Angie. I can't. I'm 2-3 different people. And so you get to meet a different person tonight. Don't be laughing at me. BB and Miss Blair. Stop laughing at me. Y'all knows how I am. Now I can be me. Because I be trying to be, really polite. And I, bring you encouragement, in the morning time. But y'all know it's past my curfew. So you get what you get. Do you understand? Okay. So anyway, Make sure that you guys tune in the morning to the Ride to Work with Angie, where you will get, hi Lucian, how are you? Where you will get that nice Angie, that polite, bubbly Angie, with the makeup on and her wig straight and her sides and stuff glued down. Um, this ain't it. And then tomorrow night we have at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time we have the return of the His and Her show. So if you think this is a pip, wait until tomorrow. Niche, good evening. It will be myself and Chilla the Entertainer up here, and since we haven't been up here in a while, and we have so much more, so much material, you guys will definitely get a kick out of that. Okay. So tomorrow, make sure you put the kids away. Put them in the room with the Xbox or whatever they playing now, the Nintendo Switches or whatever, because that is not a show for the children. Nana, good evening, good evening. Make sure that you guys, I say it in the morning, but for you guys who are not able to come up in the morning, I want to let you know that beginning December 1st, all the other Facebook pages will be shut down, other than the Angie Pat Boss Queen Facebook page. That is the only page that will be up. That and the TikTok page. So make sure that you guys follow. Um, yeah, I think that's it. I'm running off of adrenaline, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna have to take a break, a little breath, here and there. I don't have my pump with me, so bear with me. Tonya, how are you, darling? Thank you for joining me. Um, Blair said coming with the foo tomorrow. Absolutely, tomorrow is Foo Friday on the Right to Work with Auntie. Hello, beautiful Miss Shirley. How are you, baby? Tracy, good evening. Look, good morning. Look, good evening. Doris, good evening. So yeah, so Fridays are Foo Fridays on the Right to Work with Angie. So we kind of, we have a little fun on there, and we just, to take you guys through the weekend. Make sure that you guys definitely check out Angie's new AI segment, and the AI stands for Angie's Inspiration. And so it is posted every day at noon Eastern Standard Time, and that's to get you guys, through the rest of your day. Fred, how are you? Shower, how are you? Hello, everybody. All these beautiful new faces. I surely appreciate you. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it. So, I'm gonna give you guys a couple of songs. I like old school songs. So, well, hello, beautiful. Nikki is in the building. Nicole Curry is in the building, y'all. Um, so, I like to do like old school songs, right? And I like to pull stuff from those eras and times when we'd be like, because when I used to go to the club and I used to hear songs like from way back in the day, I'd be like, oh, I forgot all about that song, but wow, that was my favorite song. So, we do that on the Boss Up Show sometimes. We Are One by Frankie Mays and Beverly Blair. Is that what you're talking about? Hi, Alta. How are you? Blair, this is past my curfew. You have to explain things to me. Because mother don't understand. After 5 o'clock, mother gets a little sleepy. Like kids, they need a nap. Okay, Blair, I got you. We are one. Okay, I got you. So why I'm putting this on, and I love Blair because I had a playlist, and that's what I was gonna go on. But Blair has supported me for so very long. Estella, hi, how are you? So as people are steady coming into the broadcast, and I'm so very grateful for all of you guys who are coming in. It's all right, baby. I was just playing. I was just playing. Mother was just playing. The topic we're gonna talk about, because I want you all to be interactive with me tonight. So I talked to my god sister before I start this song. I talked to my god sister the other day, and of course, it was in Chicago, which it just made me hang my head because I'm born and raised Chicagoan. Um, I'm not in Chicago right now, but born and raised. And I was Blair. It's okay, babe. Hi, Rhonda. How are you? It's all right, honey. I was so embarrassed. First of all, because I try to keep up with the Chicago news, even though I'm not there. But I did get my god sister was like, "Oh, isn't it a shame what happened to that mother and her son?" And I'm like, "What you girl? What you was talking about?" So that's what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about these mothers and these trifling kids. Yes, I'm not doing all that polite crap. I'm talking about you mothers and your trifling kids. Talking about they just kids that done jumped on I think the girl was the girl pregnant? whether she was or she wasn't, she has sickle cell, which I take that personally because I have a cousin that has sickle cell, and they already in a lot of pain. And then she had her kid with her, so that's what we're gonna talk about. So you all get your comments and stuff together, cause. And I hope don't nobody come up here trying to defend these little trifling mothers and trifling kids that allowed their kids and validated is trying to validate these children jumping on this lady. So we're gonna talk about that. Okay, so Blair is confusing me right now. But I'm finna go back a little bit. We're gonna go back a little bit. We're gonna go back. Miss Blair, I think we was talking about this song before. We're gonna go back a little bit before we start. Before we start our topic. Fly Girl, hello, hello. This one of them times I hope one of them people who had one of the kids, I hope they find their way to my show. I need that. And hell. Walking in the rain, you were holding hands and I never been the same. Well, I'm gonna put that on the playlist too, okay? Tossing and turning, another sleepless night. The rain crashes against my window pane. We are gonna start our topic after this song. That moment I knew I would never be the same. If I saw you walking in the rain, you were holding hands and I. Michelle, hello. Y'all get y'all comments together because I want to hear you all's take on this story. Now here you are begging to me to give our love another try. Girl, I love you and I always will. But darling, right now I got to say goodbye. Walking in the rain, you were holding hands and I'll never be the same. I saw you walking in the rain, you were holding hands and I'll never be the same.
Hey, baby, how you doing? Come on in here. Got some hot chocolate in the stove waiting for you. Listen, first things first, let me hang up that coat. Yeah, how's your day today? You miss me?
I said that right, baby. I'm
You
sorry.
did. Yeah, I missed you too. I missed you so much, I followed you today. That's right. Now close your mouth, cause you cold busted. That's right, now sit down here. Sit down here, so upset you don't know what to do. My first impulse was to run up on you and do a Rambo. Whip out the jammy and flat blast both of you.
Henry,
I
how
didn't
are
want to mess
you?
with this $3,700 Lynx coat. So instead, I chilled. That's right. Chilled. Then I went to the bank, took out every dime, and then I went and canceled all those credit
You could have
cards,
just left. Don't take everything.
all your charge counts. Yeah. I stuck you up for every piece of jewelry I ever bought you. Yeah, that's right. Everything. Everything. Get fly with me. Nah, don't go looking in that closet, because you ain't got nothing in there. Everything you came here with is packed up and waiting for you in the guest room. That's right. What was you thinking about? Huh? What are you trying to prove? Huh? You took the juice. I gave you silk suits, Gucci handbags, blue diamonds. I gave you things you couldn't even pronounce. Now I can't give you nothing but advice, because you're still young. That's right, you're still young. I hope you learn a valuable lesson from all this. You know? You're gonna find somebody like me one of these days. Until then, you know what you gotta do? You gotta get on out of here with that alley cat coat wearing, hush puppy shoe wearing, crumb cake I saw you with. Because you dismissed. That's right. Silly rabbit tricks are made for kids. Did you know that? You without me like cornflake without the milk. It's my world. You just a squirrel trying to get a nut. Now
That's my favorite part. Cannot. I told y'all. After 5 o'clock, you get what you get. I can't. I can't. Okay, so this is what I want to talk about. Hello, Kiana. Hello, darling. How are you? So I want you to make sure that you guys hit those love buttons. Please do that for me. Hit the love buttons. Um, so there's this lady, right? I guess that she was walking home with her son. She has sickle cell. That I do know. I appreciate you for doing that. And so these kids jumped on her, right? So I saw one mother on there like, well, one of the kids' mothers who jumped on the lady was like, well, they just kids. And the kid tried to give an apology, but to me it was like it was funny to the kid and stuff like that. So that's one of the things that we have gotten so accustomed to things that we laugh at that aren't funny. Um, and a lot of people would give a lot. I saw a lot of different comments about it. As far as like the kids being only kids, and like some of them where they was just following their friends. They really good kids. Them some bad ass kids. Okay, we not finna do all that. Bless it. That it was insane, and it absolutely was. What was more insane to me was that the parents, because had it been them or their child that got jumped on, their conversation would have been totally different. First of all, people with sickle cell are already in an enormous amount of pain already. Y'all kicking this lady, hitting this lady in her face. The poor little boy is trying to protect his mother, and y'all just y'all beating him up, y'all beating him up. And you ask either any of these little dumb screwheads, like, why did you do what you do? Why did you do what you did? I don't know. Okay. First of all, half of y'all can't spell I don't know. That's number one. These mothers, these parents, absolutely, Blair, they need to be held accountable. I think the kids should go to jail go to juvie until 18 and then being sentenced as an adult. I think the parents should be sentenced as an adult because that is total insanity. Who gave you the right? The lady said, I was trying to get across the street because her son had already been getting bullied. That was number one. That school should be held accountable. Because if the little boy already getting bullied, and then the mother apparently is coming to the school to get her kid so that, to prevent him from getting bullied. Now, the mother then got jumped on with the kid. Where did we go wrong? The school system. Let me explain something to you. And this is just my personal opinion, which is going to turn out to be that anyway after a while. Homeschooling is coming back because these schools, I know the schools in Chicago have become complete zoos. I have been trying to get out of Chicago for the longest because it is a complete zoo. I love you guys who live in Chicago that know I love you, but as far as Chicago itself, hey D Money, how are you? It is an absolute zoo. You got a mayor who's from the west side of Chicago, which is one of the worst sides of Chicago. Lord, I'm finna get in trouble with this one. I don't care. It's one of the worst. The south side, which where I'm from, and the west side is the worst sides of Chicago. We have a mayor that is all about the look, and I need to get my point across. I don't care who is affected by it. And the Chicagoans are being affected by it. While you out cutting ribbons and being at house events, which I have nothing against house music. I love house music. But it is real issues going on in Chicago. Now, I've never heard, I'm sure this type of thing is going on in quite a few places. But, hey, cuz. But, I can only speak for Chicago because I know what's going on in Chicago. And I don't want this show to turn out to be a bad Chicago show, but it is what it is. I have not yet seen the mayor address this issue with these children and her son, with these children and these parents. It has become a social media circus about these kids and about this little boy and his mother getting jumped on. Now, I do know that if the mother had a pulled out something and beat them kids' heads into the White Beach showed, then it would have been a problem. Then everybody would have been like, oh, she shouldn't have done those kids like that. Why the hell not? Why? Kids want to now be grown. Adults are allowing kids to be grown. So then you deal with the grown people consequences that you deserve. And that's how I feel. Because that made absolutely no... I didn't even hear about it. When I heard about it, I was looking for the video. I kept looking for the video. And I still have yet to see the entire video, which I really don't think I want to see the whole video. I did see just enough to see this lady and her son pinned up against a freaking gate. And these dumb kids, illiterate, with illiterate parents, jumping on this mother and her son. I did see a video of somebody, of a lady, I can't remember her name, but she's on TikTok, and she's very well known, and she was talking about a village. Remember, we used to say it takes a village to raise a child. In these days, the village as a whole is gone. It's some of us that still have those foundations, and we still go by them. But for the most part, the village is gone. Because you got parents partying with the kids. And I'm not talking about when they get grown. I'm talking about you got 30-year-old parents partying with 15-year-old kids. Their children. You do the math. And everything has become a social media circus. That was something that honestly, I feel like that video itself should have never been put on social media. Because who does that? So now these people that are putting that stuff on social media are getting hella views from somebody else's pain. That alone is like inhuman to me. And I get so sick and tired of social media sometimes glorifying what should be what would normally in a normal world be disgusting. Miss Bless said Meemaw and Big Mama are gone, so the village is broken. And I agree with that, Blair. But at the end of the day, like a lot of us that grew up under Meemaw and Big Mama and them, a lot of us are still here. So what happened to that generation? A lot of us don't want to speak out. We scared to speak out. We don't want to say the wrong thing. Because what? We gonna get in trouble? I'm grown. I'm 53. My last ass whooping was so long ago. Okay? And I'm not taking that now. That was disgusting. It was degrading to that mother, and for that mother to have to come out there and explain that. And she had to come on the news and explain from what I saw, what I gathered. But then you had the mothers of the kids who fought this lady. They're all on Facebook getting views. They're on TikTok getting views. You got a little girl that is laughing as she is apologizing. Her teeth would have been down her throat. Okay? Her bag would have been packed before she got home. And she'd have rang the bell, and I'd have said, your bag is outside at the door. Get it and keep moving. Because that's wrong. There was one mother on there that I loved her. I really did. She was talking to her kid, and she was on social media. She was like, you know they looking for you, right? She said they looking for you, right? She said, and I'm not helping you. We need more parents like that. Blair said the grandmamas are younger and the kids' parents are young with no guidance. Absolutely. Let me tell you something. These are generational curses in real time as we are looking at them. They are in real time. Because like you said, the Meemaws and the Big Moms, Big Mama's the one that wore the muumuus and wore the socks that was down on their ankles with them shoes where they never picked up their feet. They just slid them across the floor and they got on your ever-loving nerve because of the noise. Yeah, they pretty much gone. But at the end of the day, like I said, some of us are still here. Somewhere along the way, we got totally lost. Our values and morals went out the window when the TikTok trends came in the window. We so busy trying to learn the tic-tac. I told y'all this after 5 o'clock. Don't judge me. The TikTok videos and trends until we sitting up watching the same TikToks and trend videos as our kids. And what makes it even worse is that the kids are watching the same TikTok videos and trends as the adults. So we have already crossed anyway. We've already crossed lines beyond repair anyway. Miss Blair said, and I will backhand you with the quickness. Absolutely, because that's just totally disrespectful. Now, on the Balso show, I don't hide names. If I remember names, then I will say. That's the same thing with this little girl, Miss Shirley. Miss Shirley makes my butthole itch. And her mama makes it itch worse. That's where we're getting these kids from that feel like they can step to adults and hit on adults and beat up on adults. That's where we get that from. Ryan, how are you? Because back in the day, we could even be in the same room with adults that were talking. Hey, Roach, how are you, hon? Now, the parents are teaching the children how to talk smack and to disrespect the adults. And then what makes it so worse, I don't know who came up with this law, this rule. I don't know who came up with that. And better yet, I don't know whose idea it was to share this with these children, that you cannot hit on your children. Some of us, we didn't live by that. Because I went to school when my kids was little. And the police was like, ma'am, you can't hit them. I was like, sir, unless you're going to take them home with you, you better get out of my face. And if you're going to arrest me, let me whip their ass first. Then you can take me. But I'm going to go for a reason if I got to go. Because they going to get this butt whooping. I grew up in the era where if you act a fool in the store, you're going to get your butt whooped in the store. That's where I grew up. That's the era in which I grew up. Now it's like, time out. Time out of what? You have taken the time out of my day for your foolishness where I have to address this, and that never should have been. We think too much stuff is funny that's not funny. We got kids that's wearing skirts shorter than I would wear at 53. And like I said before on the show, Rose said, ask mine, they grown and still get butt whoopings. Who, what? Baby, bye. Sure. We are laughing at the wrong stuff up in here. We doing too much of the wrong stuff. We want to glorify the triflingness. I don't even know if that's a word, but it is today, of it all. Because the last time I checked, if I take money in exchange for a feel, a visit, a lay, a look, I have now crossed into the world of prostitution. I mean, that the oldest profession, but we can glamorize it as views and likes. We can glamorize it as cash apps. We can glamorize it however we choose. But at the end of the day, if you got grown men paying money to come see little girls, and then that's not even prostitution. You have now crossed over into child trafficking. And we just gonna we tell it like it is. I'm not sugarcoating that shit. That if I take money for a feel, a look, if you give me some money and pick me up off the ground, I have crossed over into prostitution at that point. I am now in a ring that ain't the boxing ring. I am now in a prostitution ring. That what that is. But we think because they 4 or 5 that's cute. Oh, that's so cute. And after a while, like kids like that don't even look cute. They don't. They look like old women, like old hags. Because the spirit on the inside of them is just disgusting. And they don't do it themselves. The parents, we expose children to different stuff. And then the kids just they took on a whole nother personality. We doing too much with these kids. That stuff is not funny. When we was kids and we was 1 and 2, we was getting popped in the mouth at 1 and 2 years old. When we look like we try to talk, how kids they little, but we used to I got popped in my mouth for that. Cause little girl, even though you two, you know exactly that you trying to cuss me out, and I know you trying to cuss me out at the age of 2. So I'm gonna start smacking you in your mouth right now. And let me explain something to you. I have messages going off in my inbox, and I pray that you was not one of them ignorant mamas. I'm telling you, don't come in my inbox. Come on the show, and then I can bring you up, so everybody can tell you how ignorant and stupid you are. I don't like that, and don't go through my inbox like that. Anyway, so we need and it's sad because the last little hoorah of us that have morals and standards, we can't even say anything to our children, to other people's kids. I used to get in trouble, and before my mom even got home, I had already got a whooping by the neighbor. I got locked out the house by the neighbor around the corner because she had the key because I didn't have it no more. And then I still had to get it when my mom got home, which means I got a little chance to heal just a tad bit. Which my thing was just give me my sentence consecutively. I don't want time to heal, and then I got to come in and get the wounds get reopened. But what I'm saying is that we got it so much from so many different people before it even got to our parents. It used to be a time when I was on the bus and I would curse going to high school, and I swear my mother was on that bus. I felt like if my mother wasn't on that bus, she had somebody on that bus watching me, or she had posted her eyes up or ears up somewhere, because there was a certain type of fear. These kids have no fear. They don't fear us. They don't fear the police. They don't fear, worst of all, they don't fear God. And the parents, we chalking it up to a laugh, a joke, a Facebook view, a TikTok like. That lady's family, and one lady said, could you imagine how this lady's family felt? Like to look on social media. That lady's got to look on social media and see that over and over, because now when you scroll, that's like, it's every other thing. And then you got kids on there that are thinking it's funny, calling themselves apologizing. You could have kept that apology. And now the mother want to be like, well, she's a really good kid. And tell them the kind of grades that you make. What does that have to do with the prostitute in China? If she was so smart, she would have had common sense not to follow the other dummies that jumped on this lady. So her having A's and B's meant absolutely nothing. It means nothing. It means that you as a parent need to check your child and tell them, like our mothers used to tell us, you gonna follow them. If they go into the lake, you going into the lake with them. Because you having A's and B's and locked the hell up means absolutely nothing. I ain't never been to jail. I don't know. Do they got school in there? I don't know. I don't know how that goes. I'm not judging anybody that has been in jail, but I'm just saying I'm not finna claim that because I ain't never been. And I be asking questions. Is there school and jail for the young people? Because those jails are overflowing in Chicago as well. But I would assume that people would rather go to regular school than to go to school in jail. I don't know. Jail was like a trophy when I was in high school, which was like the dumbest thing. If you was pregnant and if you went to jail, baby, you had a trophy. I'm trying to tell you, I don't understand. I don't get our system. And I don't know if this happens anywhere else, but then you got kids. You have like over 1,000 kids that get on Facebook and say, we're going to meet downtown. And we're going to tear up the stores. So we're going to jump on people's cars. And that actually is carried out. That is the dumbest thing. Where is these kids' parents at? Like, is they out twerking? Is they in the basement doing TikTok videos? How you got all these kids, some of them is way underage, outside jumping on people's cars? Yes, in Chicago they do that. They jump on folks' cars, they bust windows, they pull folks out of cars, they do all that kind of foo-foo mess. Where these kids' parents at? Are you that busy? Is the lay that good where you don't know where your kids are? This be late at night. I'm trying to figure out the purpose. I'm trying to figure out why. I'm trying to figure out what you're doing that's so important. Get your head out that man's lap from 26 legs. Get off your knees and go get your kids. Go get your children. Because ain't nobody praying when your child becomes unalive. And I know that may sound cruel, but if your child is out there trying to harm or kill somebody else, now you want prayer because yours is laid up in ICU because somebody's parent or somebody's sibling or somebody's son or daughter didn't agree with what you did and they retaliated on you. I think that is the most idiotic thing. No, no. And Lord help me, but no, I'm not. I think there's them be wasted prayers. Cause you wasn't praying for that family that your child jumped on. That lady has to live with that. And by her having sickle cell and going through all the pain anyway, can you imagine how much more excruciating that pain was to be getting kicked like that? Do you know the type of medicine people with sickle cell take? But no, you don't teach your kids nothing because your kids don't know what sickle cell is, let alone can spell how sickle cell is spelled. So you just got these rambunctious kids just walking around doing anything. And at this point, I'm gonna be honest, I'm so glad that I am not in Chicago because they have gone completely mad, more crazy than when I left. And I know when I return, I know that it will not be any better. But by me living in a city like that, I see certain things and I've witnessed and seen certain things and actually been embarrassed to be a native of Chicago. Nikki said, shit, they are train surfing, losing their minds. Girl, all you got, let me say something. If you think I'm joking, you go on Facebook and you follow Chicago. They is pulling people off trains. They is fighting people on the train. They is doing like, and a lot of these are kids. Like, where is these mammies and pappies at? Like, what is y'all doing? I'm finna cuss real bad. Put the blunt down. Go check on your kids. Get up in the middle of the night and make sure your kids is still in their room. Kids is trifling. These is a trifling generation of children. And why? Because the generation before them is trifling as well. Because they partying with them. First of all, at 13, you shouldn't be twerking or partying. But your mama standing next to you that's 20 years old. And you 13. And both of y'all twerking. And they think it's cute. I get disgusted sometimes when I scroll down the timelines of Facebook and TikTok to see the millions and millions of views that people are giving. And I what I do for certain things, I go straight to the comments because I want to see if anybody got the gall or the guts to say anything contrary to what most of the idiots under the comments are saying. Like that Miss Shirley thing. Ooh, God gave her talent. Ooh, Miss Shirley, don't worry about them haters. That's all you see down the whole timeline. And you may get one later on down in the timeline and say, Mother, you going to hell for that. Mother, stop pimping your child out. Like, no. And then you put your child out there, your ignorance as a mother is that everybody is going to agree with the foo-foo stuff that you're doing. And then you want to get mad and get to cussing folks out. But keep your child off social media. Keep your children in the house. You don't want, because you done been smoking and drinking all night. So you barely sent them to school with wrinkled clothes on, shoes on the wrong foot, dirty socks. So you sure ain't getting, once you get up, you're getting another blunt and another shot. So you sure ain't picking them up from school. And how do we know this? Because all them children jumped on that lake. Where was y'all parents at? While everybody was videoing, nobody thought to call. No adult. I have yet to hear that an adult said, I know that little boy mama. He over there beating up on that. Let me call his mama. Now everybody was videoing so they could post it and see how many freaking likes and views that they get. Y'all is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I don't get it. I really don't get it. And the worst thing about it is when people come up and are offended by certain things that some content creators say, and then you want to cuss them out. If you had your child in the back seat of the car after school because you picked them up because you was a responsible adult, then your child may have actually been on social media, um, getting accolades for getting A's and B's because that child got A's and B's, but fought this mama. The A's and B's really nobody cares about. I could care less about an A and a B. And then you thought it was funny, and the child was standing right next to the mama. Tell me, I'm sorry, you ain't see Titter first, and the girl is laughing. I would have knocked her teeth out right on social media. The society that we live in is sad. It is so sad. And then people want to get upset because people have other opinions. Are you serious? Kiana said, yeah, it's so many pedophiles out here for a mother. She should not have her child be dressing like that. And I agree. But here's the thing. When a mother delivers a child to the pedophiles, see how that goes? Because these people that's paying to see this little 7 to 4, 5-year-old girl ain't nothing but a pedophile. So when you got the mothers delivering the children to the pedophiles, then something happened to the little girl, she come up missing. Now you want everybody to pray. For what? Use some common sense? Because that's all I'm going to be praying about at that particular time, is for you to have some common sense. Have had some common sense. Because you not being able to, God forbid, I'm not wishing that on her, but it is a possibility. Because praying to find your child, that's something you could have avoided. I would have rather prayed that you had a little common sense before all this happened or when this first started happening. But guess what? It's not going to stop now. I saw a video where the person that made the song that everybody is dancing to, but I don't even like the song because the little girl is dancing to the song. I don't even like it. I don't like the song. What's up, namesake? How are you, baby? I don't even like the song because all I see in my head is that little girl, and she twerks and shakes her behind better than any adult I've ever seen. And I used to twerk in my day, baby. Let me tell you, I used to do as people call it the scissor dance. Baby, she got me beat. But when you are delivering your child to pedophiles, then it's kind of. I mean, when she first started coming on, she was very cute. She wasn't doing all that at first, and then all of a sudden, like so subtly, it happened to where she didn't even want to do the rest of the dance. She just wanted to do the twerking part. The skirts got shorter. First of all, anybody under the age of 60, I'm not calling Miss Nothing. Okay? Absolutely not. We set these kids up to be grown before they can even spell grown. What's the Boots on the Ground? I can't stand that song. It was all right. I was trying to learn dance at first, but once I saw her do it, I was like, that's okay. Because you know why? Because I don't want to be a part of nothing. I don't want to be a part of that at all. And I'm not judging nobody that want to do the TikTok dance, but you will not see Angie try that one. And very seldom do I try a TikTok trend dance anyway. But that one you won't ever see me try. Because every time I hear that, I see that little girl. I see these grown men. It was a video where these grown men took money out their pocket. The wad was big enough to choke a horse, and gave this little girl on video a big wad of money. Anything to do with Missy Elliott? It's by some guy. I don't even know his name. But they gave this little girl like this humongous wad of money. Yeah, it's by a guy. It boots on the ground. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. All you got to type is boots on the ground. You'll see it, and you probably see her little fast ass in the video too. I cannot. There's something wrong, desperately wrong with this world when it's okay and people are actually saying the adults are hate. All y'all hating on them because they getting money. Baby, our money ain't good money. And that's going to come back and bite you clean in your behind. First of all, now the little girl is far beyond her years at this point. She's far beyond her years. And when I do happen to see her like come across my For You page or whatever, I stop for a half a second, but as soon as she opened her mouth, it'd be something smart, and I just keep going. Because y'all still haven't learned. I'm looking at the comments, it's the same comments. That is one mother who would be like those mothers. Well, she's just a kid. Well, you helped her pass that a long time ago, and she's only 5. I think she just made 5. No, absolutely not. No. And now I'm going to get on because it's not just because the mother can be stupid, but I want to talk about you nasty men that's paying for this. You nasty, trifling. Your penises should be cut off. Okay? Because if you are a normal man that likes women your age, you would feel absolutely funny, nasty, disgusting. And for you to give that money up, you need Jesus. You need to be castrated. It needs to be flushed. After it's put through a shredder, whatever's left of it needs to be flushed. Because you're nasty. Hey, cousin. My cousin Stephanie is in the building. You're nasty. You old ass men that are just like, really? And it's like men of all ages, but like at a certain age, like nigga, you a half a century years old. Some of y'all close to a century years old. And y'all paying to see a little girl and crying. And mother, you see nothing wrong with it? What do you think these men be doing at home while they watching your little girl while her tutu is out? Because all the wind got to do is blow and you can see all of her insides. Tell me what you think these men is doing. What do you think these men is doing? And then you let them pick your daughter up. Back in the day, mothers barely let the daughters sit on their father's laps. And you letting your child sit on men's laps from all over the world. All over the world. And they paying. There was one guy that I applauded him. He had enough balls, and dignity to call CPS on this lady. All hell broke loose. Oh my God. That man was everything but a child of God. And my little girl is taken care of. That was the only, and I know there were many, but I'm saying that actually came out. That was the only man that I respected. Because not only did he say, I refuse to keep watching this. I refuse to pay money to go see this. And I'm going to go against the grain and do the right thing. And I got that little girl is beyond me. Because it's not like somebody told you. Like, go on Facebook. Go on TikTok. The little girl is all over the place. And just like the little girl who called herself apologizing. Because she called herself apologizing. Now, it's like they've taken the focus off of the mother and the son. And now it's focusing on this little girl who gets all A's and B's. And she reluctantly apologized to these people. I tell you what. Tell me I'm sorry by locking yourself in a jail cell. Do that. You and your trifling mammy that got up there and thought that that was going to win people over. And it did win some dummies over. It actually did. I think it's all disgusting. Let me tell you something. I love social media. I love technology, but we completely use it in the wrong way. I don't even have to be in Chicago to know what's going on the green line, the red line, the blue line. I don't even have to be there because it's somebody. And let me tell you, y'all ain't got no jobs. Why y'all just happen to be in these places where people is getting beat up and what in the world is going on? I don't understand. Ain't nobody working. Y'all ain't got nothing to do but chase crime around. And in Chicago, you could be on your way to work and pass a little crime. Just you ain't got to go search for it. What is wrong? Where did we go wrong? Oh my God. Social media has just become a circus of sorts sometimes. And then there was another lady on, this is my social media bash day. So then there was this other girl on social media, right? And I used to watch her. I used to like her because I thought she was hilarious. She talked about Trump all the time, so she was hilarious. And I thought it was funny. But you took the following that you had, and now you trying to get them to believe that the Bible is a lie. And all these dummies following right along with you. I don't understand. I just don't understand what's wrong with them, Jesus. Lord, what's wrong with them? I don't understand. We are living in a really crazy society. But here is the dumbest part for me. These dummies that's following right along with her. You ain't gonna believe the word. You ain't gonna take a chance in believing in the Bible, but you gonna believe what another human being tell you about the Bible that wasn't there in the first place. Y'all some dummies if I ever seen it. Lord, what's wrong with them, Lord? Lord, we're gonna talk about it. Because these some dummies down. I'm not gonna believe in something that I have known all my life. I'm not gonna believe in that anymore. Because somebody that wasn't even there when it was written is gonna tell me that this is not what it meant. Y'all stupid. Absolutely. I don't understand. I don't know where we went wrong, people. I just don't get it. I don't get it. But people have to understand that when you get on social media, it is not Burger King. You cannot have it your way. You put your raggedy ass business out there. And then you expect for people not to pay. Everybody has an opinion. And everybody's opinion will not be yours. Okay? Everybody's not going to agree with your foo-foo mess. And it's some of us who actually are going to say something about it. And I'm okay with getting called names. Because I will call you one back. So I understand that. I done called y'all dummies and all type of stuff. And that's only for these parents. Y'all know who I'm talking to. So I'm okay with all of that. Because you some dummies. You're absolutely some dummies. You parents that, feel like they're just children and, well, if they were just children, where were you at when they was beating up somebody's mama? Where were you? Because I'm sure that video hit the press before you got off work. So you should have been leaving work. You should have been on a hunt for your kid. Your kid shouldn't have even made it home before you did. Our parents used to leave work early. They would leave work. I don't understand. I got to take a break, y'all. Because I'm trying to be a better version of me. I try not to call y'all everything in the book. Because that is just dumb as ever. I don't understand. And now that lady has to live with that. That little boy has to live with that tragedy. He was already getting bullied and y'all wasn't doing nothing about it. Now he has to live with the tragedy of even protecting his mother. What if he hadn't have made it out? The way they was beating that boy, like, what was your part? And you ask any one of them dummies, why did you do it? I don't know. I didn't mean to do it. Francis was doing it. Just some dummies. I'm gonna go back a little bit farther, y'all, with this music while I get my composure, because I think certain stuff is just ignorant, and I just think I don't need to be in Chicago at certain times, and that was one of those times, because that's horrible. Are you steppers from Chicago?
This fool's crazy foul left up, but how? Never do his boots allow artificial style. Being shy, she be the fifth element. Manipulate the mind, she thinks you like that. Hard combat, eliminate the nonsense, vengeance, and existence of malice. Who thought that you taught arena, but nah. It's far from verbal assault, the spy must die.
Hold me this time. Next time I'll know that you knew me.
You thought you knew me, right?
But all you really know is what I choose to show. Yeah, sweet like the honey.
Y'all need to listen to the words to this.
Mystery that's so sweet. Oh, sweet like the honey. I stay deadly.
Then I must be
They're
there.
so sweet. Try to do me.
Apparently
Don't know who I be. Try to fool me.
Apparently
Don't know who I be. Try to excuse me.
Apparently
Don't know who I be. Try to screw me. Apparently don't know. Maybe not, maybe not, maybe not today.
That needs to be Chicago's theme song.
Maybe not today. Maybe not, maybe not, maybe not today. Maybe not today. Should have known that what goes around comes right back around again and again and again. But now I know one of life's hard learned lessons. So be ready, I'm coming, my friend.
Be ready, I'm coming.
I'm not so sweet,
Deadly,
my teeth.
deadly. Then a mystery then so sweet.
Whoa, so sweet, honey. Show my teeth.
Deadly. Then a mystery then so sweet.
Oh, try to do me.
Apparently don't know who I be.
Try to fool me.
Apparently
Don't
Hey, Cuss, you know about that?
try to
DJ Cuss is in the building from the shine.
don't know who I be. Try to screw
Absolutely.
me well.
I had to go back on him, Cuss.
Pimp of the year, lady slave, don't lie, say it. You simply thought you could deal with Ming Shot. Poster up and play a heartbreak game and works on an average every day. Well, she ain't that, so don't paint that picture, mister. All you know is she
That should be
concerned about your
Shat-Town's
car getting
theme
wrecked.
song.
Yet instead, you feel a sharp blow punch through your chest. Instantly, your shirt's burgundy. Yeah, you wish you was the type to slash tires now. Don't you? Don't you?
Maybe not today.
Maybe not tomorrow.
So
Be ready, I'm coming. Cuss.
So be ready, I'm coming. So be ready, I'm coming.
In other words, I'ma get you. And I be today. I've been around DJs all my life, cause I know. Thank you. Apparently don't know who I be. Apparently don't know who I be. Apparently don't know then I'm gonna hit one more for the DJs in the building. Cause if you maybe get,
Do you know with Capital
maybe
One,
you
you
get,
can see if
maybe
you're
you
pre-approved for
get
card
this
offers
one.
with no impact to your
We
credit.
have fun on the boss up
Don't
show,
believe me?
but I meant
Try
what
it
I
for yourself.
said.
Today, I'm
Okay, cuz this for my Chi-Town DJ. We gonna get back to the topic in a minute, y'all. Come on, cuz. Where you at? Where you at?
You're a good girl.
When I can't get nothing from the DJs, I know I done went back.
I don't like no nasty girl.
Don't be trying to look it up either, cuz.
Got to be special, just like my lady. Personality, classy as can be. Oh, girl, you're serious. I'm so proud you're my girl. You're a good girl. You're a real tough lady, and you're a good girl.
Oh, there you are.
You're a real tough.
You ain't know I had it. You ain't know I had it.
I said I don't like no nasty girl.
I got you, Gerard.
Can't respect herself. I love a lady. You're one all the time. That just blows my mind. Oh, girl, you're too tight. I'm never gonna stop loving you. You're a good girl. You're a real tough lady, and you're a good girl. You're a real tough lady, and you're
Hey, brother.
a good.
My brother David Tashan is in the building.
You're a real tough lady, and you're
Gerard and David, make sure you stay in. After this song, I want to get y'all's opinion.
real fine lady, and you're. It might sound corny, but you're so good. That doesn't mean you know what's happening. Girl, you're bad. You're a real tough lady, and you're a good girl. You're a real tough lady, and you're.
So I had to take y'all back just a little bit, So Gerard said, what is the general topic tonight? Don't be starting no mess.
Might sound corny, but you're so good. That doesn't mean you know what's happening. Girl, you're bad. You're a real tough lady, and you're a good
trouble. And plus I'm having hot flashes. And too much moving. My wig glue loosened. Okay. So the topic of discussion tonight, we are talking about these pet. We first started talking about the parents. David, you still up here? So we were talking about the situation in Chicago where where all the kids jumped on the young lady and her son, and then we had began talking about just like social media, children in general. We was talking about Miss Shirley and her mama. It absolutely is, cuz I like going back old school. So that's what we're talking about. That is the discussion. These social media trending kids who mamas is trifling as ever, and yeah, that's the topic for tonight. So that's what I know you have something to add to that, Varad. David, my brother David, you still up here? So we were just basically just saying. Well, I was basically saying, because I ain't gonna get everybody in trouble with me. Because I know I'm in trouble, especially if somebody sees it and I would happen to be talking about them, which I don't care. I don't care. I'm not gonna go along with the foo-foo of it all because everybody's going along with it. I don't go along with with them videoing the whole thing. Marcus Gibson, who that is? Who that? Look at me. They from Chicago? Who is that? You gotta fit. You know I'm slow. You cannot just put a name up there and expect me to know what you're talking about. You done met me before. You know me. You know I'm a little slow. You gotta put an explanation up there with that. You can't just put a name up there. So that's what we were talking about. Just how how the world has changed and how social media is just not, and it's not, it's not even social media exploiting the kids, it's the parents are exploiting the children. I know with the Miss Shirley thing, everybody was asking like, where's the father? Oh, okay, well thank you for inviting somebody, aren't you sweet? Thank you so much, Gus. So yeah, so that's what the discussion is. That is what the discussion is tonight. And just how times have changed, and how parents had standards back then, and these parents ain't got none. And it's the thing about it is, I don't think her mother's like no. I think her mother may be like in her 30s. Like, you old enough to know better. And then you twerking on there with the little girl. That's that do as I say, not as I do type thing. But you can't even say that because you doing and saying the same thing. It means above new ground. Yeah, but that's yeah. You gonna just rename my show, Verod? You's a mess. I'm telling you the truth. I love you to death, but you's a mess. How you gonna rename my show? Jesus. Lord help me today. Lord have mercy. But Rod, you want to talk about the topic today? Instead of you helping me, you renaming my shows and stuff. What's wrong with you today, boo? Come on, talk about these parents and stuff. Blair, is you still in here? I think Blair had to. What time is it? Oh, Blair probably had to deal with the childrens. But yeah, so that was pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. I like that though. That's the funny part. I like that. I know ain't nobody reported me. That's what I'm talking about, trifling. I don't care. They start popping back in. I don't care. I don't care. I really don't care. As I'm going to say the same thing. I think it's horrible. And I told y'all, I tell y'all on the morning show I could be petty. And I'm not finna be one of those that no, I ain't gonna say that. Because some of y'all don't know me like that, and then y'all will be like, oh, she is really cruel. So I'm gonna save that for like a few shows in. But I'm gonna say it. Because people need to put these children first and prioritize life. All money is not good money. Because I'm 53 and there's no way, hey, that's just disgusting. It's disgusting. And like I said, any of the men, because it was quite a few men, I'm not going to apologize because I might have a couple of the men that I can't see because, you know, people do view you that you can't see. They might have paid to see that little girl. You are disgusting and you need to be castrated. It needs to be sent through a shredder and flushed down the toilet because you're nasty. There should be nothing you even have in common at a half a century years old or more with a 4 or 5-year-old kid. Absolutely nothing. It's nothing that you have in common with that child. That child ain't shaking nothing that should be in much. But anyway. So this is what you kind of get on the Boss Up Show. It's a different, I have to reset and revamp so that I can give you all the nice inspirational Angie in the morning. Because this one right here is past her bedtime and she's hearing voices in her head. The hot flashes are immensely growing at this particular time. And that's because I had 2 candy bars. But they were mini candy bars. And so the sugar has kicked off the flashes. And I don't have no fan right now. So, I got to regroup so I can bring y'all the Angie Pat for the Ride to Work with Angie in the morning. So make sure that you guys tune in the morning. Now you want to talk. You know what, Farah? I just told you. I'm about sick of you. Okay, what you had said. You said, I believe that parents today have taken the back seats in parenting because they are too focused on competing with each other with finances and trying to relate. I hear this thing going. Trying to relate with the internet. Is that what you said? Okay, and trying to relate with the internet. Yeah, they have. I agree. They have taken the back seat. Some of the trifling behinds is in the back seat doing God knows what. Well, I do agree. And that's why I said, like, social media has just become. When I first got on social media, it was like a place to find like old classmates or old families that you have, family members that you haven't seen, and now it's becoming like some type of sex circus, and it's involving a lot of kids, and it's really really sad. It's really sad, and you don't even have kids that are sneaking on these pages. The parents is right there; they're in the videos with them, and TikTok needs to get a heads up. People lie about their year of birth. I don't even see how all these kids is able to create TikTok pages, to be honest. I don't understand how they're able to do that. There should be a better sifting system of children creating social media pages. Because first of all, if they ain't doing too much, they're going to start doing too much because of what's already on the social media platforms. It's too much for kids to see that they don't need to be seeing. Because everything is on. I saw one lady nursing her baby on. Like, lady. And then you're going to put the baby out there like that. Put your ugly face out there. Let's see what you looking like. Because that was trifling. That was indeed trifling. Whoever you are, lady. I'm going to have so many people just after me. I don't care. But that was just trifling. Like, what's wrong with these people? And the people that just constantly like give these thumbs up and hearts, and something wrong with y'all too. But as I was saying, it's past my bedtime. Okay. We gonna be up here every Thursday. I do want to let you guys know though, if you guys have a topic that you want to talk about, for the Boss Up Show, please hit my inbox and let me know. Because sometimes it be too much for me to think this time of night. And I don't do good thinking at this time of night. That's why anything just shoots out my mouth. Okay? And that's for real, for real. I be trying to be, politically correct sometimes. But after 5, it don't work out that way. My office hours are 9 to 5. After 5 o'clock, it's like picking names out of a hat. You're going to get what you're going to get. That's what it is. But I definitely, and thank you guys, all of you guys who interacted with me today. I appreciate you guys so much. we'll be back here next week for the Boss Up Show. But I want you to join me in the morning for the Ride to Work with Angie at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And if you think this was off the chain, this is just the first show coming back. Tomorrow is the first His and Her show coming back. So you'll have two of us up here. Just pray for me. That's all I can say. Just pray for me. Just pray for me. So I didn't see Tracy up here to do her spill. I do want to thank the Boss Up team. You guys are helping me tremendously with revamping a lot and you know, fixing what was broken, and I appreciate each and every one of you all. But just believing in me for believing in the vision. Thank you all of you all for coming up. Those of you all who came up. Verizon said people need to, okay, hold on. People need to get back to, I believe their parents today. Let me see. No. Oh, parents need to get back to taking their kids to the park, to the zoo, and to the circus. I absolutely agree. Unfortunately, the zoo and the circus, it usually be in their own homes. What a shame. I told you. Stuff just pops out of my mouth after 5 o'clock. I cannot. But I do agree with you. I really do. Because I still like the park and the museum and the circus and stuff like that. I like that. But even they, you know, I don't know. Being in Chicago just gives you like a whole different, hey, Abby. Chicago just sometimes gives you a whole different view of life that if you stay in it too long, you get kind of sucked in, and things that are not normal, you start to think that they're normal. And then when you start, you know, going against the normalcy of it, then people start looking at you like you're crazy. I don't care where I'm from, born or raised. If it's some wrong stuff going on, then I'm going to say it's some wrong stuff going on. Chicago, y'all need to get it together because you off the chain. I know it's other cities and states that are off the chain, but it hurts my heart because I am Chicagoan, born and raised there. I've only been out of Chicago my life for a total maybe of 3 years in my entire 53 years of life. And y'all, we need to get it together. You know, in the house community, in you know, it's cliques, it's just too much going on, and it's like nothing that is happening in the world is making people rethink their thought process. Y'all just gonna go along with the same old thing. We need Jesus. We absolutely need Jesus. So make sure that you guys join me in the morning for the Ride to Work with Angie at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then join me and myself and Chilla the Entertainer tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the His and Her show. Again, thank you everybody. You all have actually made the return of the Boss Up show. You made it really, really special to me. There were a lot of people that came up. It was a lot of new faces that I saw. And just know that we are back on the grind. We are back up here. We are back up here consistently. The Boss Up show will continuously be on Thursday. The His and Her show will continuously be on Friday. And you guys, we are behind the scenes working on some other stuff for you guys, you know, to give you some new and fresh, you know, fresh things that we got going on. So, as Tracy would say, if nobody told you yet that they loved you, that's pretty much a shame. But let me be the first to tell you I love you, but Jesus loves you best. And how long will I love you?
There for me through some real hard times. You've even made me smile at times when I didn't think I would make it. Throughout all my endeavors, whatever I may do, wherever I may go, your love is the only one for me. I love you forever, forever, and ever. I love you.
Thank you for the referral, cuz. Remember, December 1st, there will be no other Facebook pages running other than the Angie Pat Boss Queen Facebook page. So make sure that you guys go and follow the Angie Pat Facebook page. Reverend Price, hello, hello. TikTok will still be running. TikTok and the Angie Pat Boss Queen Facebook page.
Darkest nights, your light would be shining. I knew those things once of me. Our love would conquer all our fears. For all miseries, our love stays strong. Small wonder we've been close so long. You kept the faith through the stormy weather, and I promise you, I'll love you forever.
If you have an old school song that you want to hear, hit my inbox and I'll play it on the next show. I gotta play Miss Blair's. I gotta put hers in the playlist. This is a show about all of us, so I need all of your suggestions and interactions and opinions. Okay.
This will be your permanent condition. Through all the miseries, our love stays strong.